Hey guys, welcome back to Mike's Virtual Garage. It's almost December, and that means we got some winterization to do on the Audi. So today I'll take along with me as I go through what I personally do for my car before wintertime. This may be different than what you do. That's okay. We'll go through steps I do to get the Audi ready for winter. And I also encourage you guys, miss something or you want to add something that you do that's helpful, drop down the comments below. Always happy to learn from everybody else, and other people might pick up some of your tips and tricks as well. So with that said, let's get the workbench, see what we got. All right, here we are at the workbench. So like I said, we're gonna go over some winterization on the 4000 Quattro today. What I go through almost everywhere this time of year to get the car prepped for some snow and some fun. So I've got a nice list here. Keeps me honest. I recommend you guys do it too. Get yourself a list and check things off as you guys go. So today on the agenda is an oil change. We're going to swap out the summer spring tires for the winter tires and wheels. General check at all corners while the car is up. Check the suspension components, check the brakes, see if there's anything amiss there. We will swap out the summer floor mats or winter mats. We'll check door handles to make sure they're all lubed up, ready for the wintertime. General fluid check around the engine bay to make sure we're all good to go for the wintertime. Also go through what I have in my trunk. I know some people ask what I carry around in my trunk in the wintertime. I'll show you guys that. Wiper blades and wiper sprayers, make sure those things are free and clear of debris. And also lights and general functions. Make sure the car functions as it should. All lights working, which is pretty important to have, especially when you're around snow and things of that nature. So that being said, we have our list here. We have some of our products we're going to be using, and then we'll get to work. So that being said, let's get to it, guys. All right, guys, on the back of the car here, got the wheel off and just doing a quick visual inspection of the brakes, suspension components back here with the wheel off. So the suspension on this car is only about 2.5 years old, so I don't expect to see anything surprising, but definitely a good opportunity for you to, check your brake lines, your hoses, how much pad life you have left on your pads here, your rotors as well. Tie rod, then of course ball joints under here. So definitely a great opportunity and chance to check this before winter. I don't like to do a lot of wrenching when it's cold out, so this is a good time to catch stuff in case things need to be replaced. So everything is good here. I'll put the other wheel back on, then we'll keep going. All right, so far we got the winter wheels and tires done, and also a general check at all corners. Looks good. One thing I didn't mention was tape and marker. These are so that when I put the tires back on next season, I'll know front to back since they are directional. So car looks good with the winter wheels on. We will get to our oil change. All right, oil change time. For wintertime, I've always used Castrol 10W30. Summertime, springtime, same Castrol, but 20W50. Done that for many years. I don't run synthetic in these cars only because that it can potentially bring more leaks. Not that this car has any, but there's a possibility since it's thinner oil. So this has been good to me for about 15-20 years, so I use it every season. Got your man filter, crush washer, and then this little guy is pretty handy for when you want to fill. This just goes right, screws right into the valve cover there for the oil fill, and just makes it easier to put the oil in. Last but not least, owner's manual. This has all the fluid capacities, which, oddly enough, I need to look at every time. So always reference that or the Bentley for fluid capacities. So with that, we'll get the oil change done and then move on. All right, oil change is done. Got about 4 quarts in there, new man filter. Should be good to go with oil change. Now I'm just going to go around the engine bay really quick and check fluids, check the belts, and see if anything looks amiss or potentially needs looked at. Looks like we need to add some washer fluid here. I'll get that done. Coolant, maybe just a smidge, a little low. Brake fluid looks pretty good. Power steering fluid looks acceptable. Don't mind the mess. So far, everything else looks pretty good. I was in here not long ago replacing some vacuum lines back here, so I already done some checking back here myself. One thing I did notice was power steering belt pretty loose, so I'll tighten that up right here. But aside from that, guys, I think we're good for the winter. Generally, this car does not give me much trouble, even in the wintertime, so it's a trooper. It should be good to go. A lot of new parts in the engine bay, so should treat us well for some fun and safe snow times. So with that, we'll get a few things topped up here and move on. Oh, fail. Tougher on camera. I should do that. All right, next on the list we got windshield wipers and the sprayers themselves. These were replaced not too long ago. These are pretty good looking. I've been in the rain recently, so they do work. For the sprayers themselves, what I like to do is get a needle of some sort that's small enough to get in there and clean out any kind of gunk that's in there. And then you can aim these too to make sure they actually hit the windshield, not over the car like I've done before. These are pretty good. I clean these out in the springtime. Used the sprayers recently, and I know they hit the windshield pretty good. So good to go here. Let's move on to more things. All right, looking at our list, knocking a few more things off. Oil change, fluid check, top off, got that done. Wiper blades and washer spurs, got that done as well. All right, let's keep moving. All right, guys, here we are on the outside of the car, on the passenger side. We're going to talk about door handle maintenance. Every Audi owner from the 80s knows what this means. It's important to keep these things lubricated. I use white lithium grease in the hole here. There we go. It's just good practice to shoot some in there to make sure that the mechanism in there is lubricated and moves free. I did these not long ago. I took off all of the latches, cleaned those up, and the handles themselves. Your car might not have this little guy, little rubber grommet that goes in here, the little hole. If you scrounge the junkyards, snag some of those, they're good. Keep some things out, keep some grime out of here as well. So I do recommend white lithium grease. Not a sponsor, but it works very well, and I do it usually around every winter time. Keeps things moving free. On the subject of door handles, also on the lock cylinder itself, I found this out recently when I was doing some lock rekeying. There is something called dry lock lube that is good for shooting in there to the little wafer guys in the lock cylinder to keep those things happy as well. I learned that you don't want to use white lithium grease in there. Good tip I got from Quattro World. So learning something new every day. But thanks for that one. So if you do those two things, also maybe a little bit of white lithium grease on your latch here, you should be pretty happy. A bonus item, comes wintertime. Another thing Audi owners know about are window regulators. So I make it a point, wintertime, if I don't need to use the windows, I do not touch them. Reason being is that these old cars and the window regulators, especially up front, are tough to find, and the cable snap, and you are SOL. So I'm making a point to also try not to use those in the wintertime as well. You guys on the West Coast, sunny parts of the U.S., you're lucky. Here in the Salt Belt, we're not so much with all the cold and snow. So those are a few tips I have for door handles and windows. Let's move on to something else. All right, move back to the trunk here. Let's see what kind of junk in the trunk we got. These are things I carry mostly all the time, but especially for wintertime, a few things to take note of. One thing, I always carry a jump pack around just in case. I used to carry jumper cables, but kind of cumbersome, and the no-code does a great job. If you or somebody else is in trouble, you can help them get them on their way. Other things, basically things like coolant, oil, rags, and some brake fluid. One thing not pictured are a few blankets, just in case you've got to get some out of a ditch with your quattro, like a lot of you guys do. Help keep people warm, yourself, and it's never a bad thing just in case you get into a distress situation where you need to keep warm and you have something to do so. So pretty basic. I'm sure other people bring some tools around with them as well. I just don't carry any except for the tool kit in the trunk. That's really about it back here. Let's keep moving forward. All right, we got our list. Where are we at? Door handle maintenance. Check that off. That's good. Trunk arms, went through that. Awesome. A few things left. Let's get to it. All right. We are in floor mat heaven here. Got a few sets of OEM commemorative design mats. Quattro set here. Thanks, Casey, for those. And this front-wheel drive set, which actually came with my car when I got it about 6 years ago. So I like to switch things out between summer and winter just so the nice Lloyd's Quattro mats don't get all dingy and dirty. So let's toss these in. All right, there we go. Lloyd's mats are out. Then got the carpets, commemorative design front-wheel drive mats in, front and rear. Looks pretty good. All right, our list. Floor mat swap is done. I will check off lights and functions because that is just checking to make sure your headlights work, hazards work, turn signals, heat, and things of that nature. All right, guys, that is a wrap for winter prep for the 4000 Quattro. Didn't take too long, a few hours, not too bad at all. So next will just to be enjoy the wintertime. I will get some more content for you guys here sometime soon. Holiday season is a bit busy, and then the next few months after that will be very busy for me outside of YouTube stuff. So I've got some things coming. Hope you guys enjoy it. With that, drop your comments down below. What things that you also do for winter prep for your car, and any questions, comments. I'm pretty active, so feel free to toss them down there. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. But with that, Instagram, follow me there, Mike's Virtual Garage. And with that, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Hey guys, a bit of bonus footage. When I was working on the Audi, when I was taking off the passenger rear wheel, when I was doing the wheel swap, I noticed the tire had some interesting wear to it. You can see here, pretty uneven on the inside, and that was a bit surprising. Haven't seen that before, and all your tires checked out pretty good. So I guess it's time to get the alignment checked. So got that done today. Let's go see the results. All right, here are the results. You got the initial left and right, and the after left and right. So clearly there was an issue on a bit of the front and the rear in terms of toe and camber, also a bit on the driver's side as well. But specs out really good. Took the car for a nice little drive on the highway as well. Track straight, so we're good to go. So I mentioned that, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.